We are loving Season 3 of Nickelodeon's The Loud House, but no animated series is perfect. Check out these animation mistakes from Season 3 that you probably missed. We love The Loud House. This animated series from Nickelodeon is all about life in a huge family. Lincoln Loud is the middle child and only boy in a family of 11 kids. All of his sisters are hilarious and unique, and while they might not all get along, in the end, they all love each other. Season 3 debuted in January of 2018 and has continued into the new year.
Lincoln, you're a hero!
Several of these episodes had some animation mistakes. They were pretty sneaky, so you might have missed them. Tripped. The very first episode of Season 3 is one of the funniest Loud House episodes ever. It also might be the episode with the most mistakes. In Tripped, Lincoln Loud tells viewers that his family has finally saved enough money to go on a real vacation.
Going on vacation!
The whole family has been working hard to make a family trip happen. They've all taken on different jobs to contribute. When they finally have enough money, they decide to go to the Weeping Willow Resort and Lodge. But the trip does not go according to plan at all. It's pretty much a disaster. The Loud family piles into Vanzilla and hits the road. Unfortunately, Lynn Sr. decides to show off to a cherry farmer. He speeds up and crashes the van. Lana fixes the car, but more and more things go wrong. Then Vanzilla ends up on a car carrier, and the Loud family is stranded. They're stuck at a rest stop. The family joins an open mic contest to try to get money for bus fare. They end up on a prison bus. Then they steal a plane and find Vanzilla. They finally end up at Weeping Willow and enjoy their vacation. The first animation error happens when they're trying to pass the cherry farmer. Lynn Jr. tells her dad not to let the cherry farmer pass them. They're afraid he's going to go slow. The back of the cherry farmer's truck is full of crates. Each crate is overflowing with cherries. But in the very next glimpse, the cherries are gone. The crates suddenly end up totally empty. Other animation errors happen later on the airplane scenes. Have you ever wondered how all the Louds fit in that tiny biplane? That doesn't seem safe.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Anyway, they spot Vanzilla on the back of the car carrier. Some of the cars disappear, and at one point, the logo on the plane is suddenly missing. We know these aren't the biggest details, but how did animators just miss these? Roadie to nowhere. Luna Loud is one of the most beloved characters on the Loud House. She's the coolest of the siblings, and she's a talented rock musician. The fourth episode of Season 3 is called Roadie to Nowhere. Chunk is going with her to an audition for the Royal Rumble, but she finds out that Chunk used to be just like her.
Next stop, rock and roll fame?
He was a rocker in high school, and he was sure he would become famous, but he didn't. In fact, he hasn't done much with his life since. Luna auditions, but then she totally freaks out. Girl, we feel you. Planning your future can be terrifying. She tries to find a more realistic career. It doesn't go well at all. Luna is just made to be a rock star. She finds out that Chunk still plays music in a small band. She goes to the Royal Rumble and she performs with Chunk. We're glad she decided to keep following her dreams. The scene where Luna performs with Chunk has a couple of errors. We've pointed out the fact that she seems to keep playing the guitar without hands in another video, but there's a whole other issue. Luna appears to totally lose a body part. At first, her guitar strap is on her shoulder, but then her shoulder just disappears. Her strap is awkwardly dangling on the front of her chest. Ouch, that looks painful. We guess it's pretty hard to animate a rock-out scene.
My life is a dream.
A Fridge Too Far. The next half of episode 3 is called A Fridge Too Far. Don't you hate it when you have some delicious food waiting for you in the fridge, then someone else eats it without your permission? That probably happens a lot in a family like the Louds. But Lincoln has had enough. He rigs a booby trap to keep his sisters from eating his mac and cheese bites. When Luann tries to steal his food, a watermelon falls on her foot and breaks it. Ouch! Luann loves a good prank, so she makes traps on her food too. Soon the whole family is in on it. Everyone is pranking each other, and it's a disaster. They all get tired of getting hurt, so Lincoln and Lisa divide the fridge into 11 equal parts. Each one belongs to a different sibling. They all agree to not touch anyone else's food compartment. Hey, wait a minute. Where will Lynn Sr. and Rita's food go? Their dad keeps putting ingredients in the kids' compartments because there's no room. But the kids don't know whose food it is, so they just throw it away. And then we find out that their mom booby-trapped her own food too.
Hey, there's an investor in the living room waiting to try my food and all my ingredients are gone.
There are several errors in this episode. When Lincoln gets pranked, he's suspended from the ceiling by a rope. At first, the rope is down on his left foot, but when Luann cuts him down, the rope is on his right foot. Whoops! Also, when all the kids are putting food into their own compartments, the animators messed up. Lola is seen putting her food in Lisa's compartment. That defeats the whole point of the compartments. Ritas Rights. The Loud parents don't end up in every episode, and we love it when they make an appearance. It's rare that they get a whole episode to themselves. In Ritas Rights, the episode is all about Rita Loud, the mom of all of those crazy kids. Rita drops off the younger kids at the elementary school and illegally parks Vanzilla. She gets a ticket, and the cop realizes she owes over $2,000 in parking tickets. Yikes.
What? I can't possibly pay that.
But Rita has another option. She can do community service. She finds it relaxing. Once she's done with her community service, she wants more. So she gets more tickets. Rita, you know you can do community service without getting in trouble with the cops, right? It's called volunteering. Her plan backfires, and she ends up doing a little time in jail. When she tells her family she just wanted a little peace and relaxation, they feel bad. She could have just told them. So they make a point to give their mom a break every now and then. 2 errors from this episode happened at the high school. When Rita drops off Lenny, Luann, and Luna at school, Luna is in 2 places at once. She's seen outside of the van while also being inside of the van. That's a huge mistake. Also, Lori is a student at the high school, but she's nowhere to be seen in any of the high school scenes. Teachers Union. Sometimes it's hard to imagine that your teachers have lives outside of school, but they're regular people with families and interests. In Teachers Union, Lincoln and Clyde get way too involved in their teachers' lives. Their gym teacher, Coach Pikowski, is really hard on them, but then they notice that their coach has a huge crush on another teacher named Mrs. Johnson.
Class dismissed. You all get A's.
The boys think their coach will be way easier if he gets with Mrs. Johnson. They ask Lori for advice on impressing someone. She tells them to find out about their interests. They think that their coach is really interesting. He's got a medical book and lots of photos next to world monuments. So they tell Mrs. Johnson what a cool guy he is. But they were totally wrong. The medical book is because Coach has a foot infection. Ew, gross. And the photos were from a local mini golf course. Mrs. Johnson is disappointed, and the date goes terribly. Coach is so mad at the boys for interfering in his personal life, he chases them through an obstacle course and hits his head. Then he starts crushing on the school nurse. Mrs. Johnson is mad about the date and gives the class a pop quiz. But then Lincoln and Clyde realize she's in love with the janitor. We don't think they learned their lesson about matchmaking. This is one of those episodes that take place almost entirely at school. There are a ton of details at school. It's easy to make a mistake when animating these scenes. In one scene, Lincoln and Clyde have their backpacks on when they enter the gym, but then their backpacks disappear. It's not like they went into a locker room to put them away. They just vanish. Where did they go? The animators just totally forgot about the backpacks. Really loud music. The end of 2018 brought a couple of full-length Loud House episodes. We love these because they usually have an awesome musical number or two. In really loud music, Luna is writing a song to submit to the America's Next Hitmaker contest. The most popular song will win a record deal. We know that Luna is an awesome musician, but she has a tendency to doubt herself. She starts wondering if her songs are really good enough. She wants a song to resonate with everyone. Luna starts hearing songs everywhere. She hears Lana sing a song about fixing toilets. Lola sings a song about her beauty, and Lisa raps about the periodic table.
Barium, radium, don't you be afraid. I'm packing the palladium. They're calling the stadium.
But they swear they weren't singing. What is going on with Luna's mind? She's hallucinating because she's so stressed. She keeps hearing the rest of her siblings singing. Every one of her siblings has a song about something that is totally them. Like Luann sings about comedy. It gets weird, and Luna thinks she's going crazy. Luna comes up with a new song to submit and enters the contest. The contest host tries to change Luna into someone she's not, but she refuses to perform as this Lulu that they've created. Worldwide fame is never worth giving up who you are. We love the message message, and we love all of the songs. The animation error in this episode is pretty subtle. You have to really be paying attention to see it. When Luann sings her song about comedy, the animation styles change. It's all surreal with lots of bright colors. Her unicycle is orange. There's a giant jack-in-the-box with Luann's head. It's honestly all a little creepy. But when the song ends and the world goes back to normal, the animators forget one thing. Luann's unicycle still looks like it did in the weird musical number. The Loudest Thanksgiving. This last error is from the 39th episode of Season 3. The Loudest Thanksgiving was the last episode to air before the winter break. It's also one of the only 6 full-length episodes of The Loud House. It's a Thanksgiving episode, obviously. It's also when the Loud and Casagrande families meet for the first time. Lori and Bobby are on the phone, and they're telling each other all about their Thanksgiving traditions. They're getting pretty serious, so they think they should spend a holiday together. Lincoln and Hector think that if their older siblings visit each other, the holiday will never be the same again. They get their whole families involved in making sure Lori and Bobby stay home for Thanksgiving. The Loud and Casagrande families go out of their way to make the teens feel loved. Then Bobby suggests that both families get together on Thanksgiving. That leads to an intense competition. Each family wants to be the best at hosting. It's hilarious, and it ends in a food fight. But Lori and Bobby were totally over it. They slip away from all the craziness, but they all decide that no one wants to be alone on Thanksgiving. They all celebrate at Flip's restaurant. It will get you right in the holiday feels.
I'm sorry, Boo Boo Bear. I know you were looking forward to having a real Thanksgiving this year.
There are several errors in this episode. The Loud siblings' heights usually match up with their ages. That way, it's easier to see who's older. But in one scene, Luna is magically taller than Lenny. Lenny is a lot older and taller, so that is a big mistake on the animator's part. It's so obvious. At Flip's restaurant, CJ Casagrande's arm disappears at one point, and during the song, Baby Lily's eyebrows are just gone. She had eyebrows in every other scene. Where did they go? What other animation mistakes have you noticed in Season 3 of The Loud House? Did you notice these mistakes when you watched the episodes? Let us know in the comment section below. There may be mistakes in The Loud House, but clicking that subscribe button definitely won't be a mistake. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on The Things.